You can find Sankhya Television on YouTube by searching for Sankhya Television. On the Sankhya Television's YouTube channel, you can find all previously recorded yagnas and all Sankhya TV exclusive programming. Don't forget to click subscribe so you can be notified of all new uploads. Sankhya Television aims at providing you with your number one choice for cultural, inspirational, and spiritual programming.
शंकर सोवन भवानी की नंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन। गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन। शंकर सोवन भवानी की नंदन शंकर सोवन भवानी की नंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन। सिद्धि सदन गजावदना विनायक सिद्धि सदन गजावदना विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबलायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबलायक गाइए गणपति जगवंदन। मोदत प्रिय मुद मंगलदाता मोदत प्रिय मुद मंगलदाता विद्यावारिधि बुद्धि विधाता विद्यावारिधि बुद्धि विधाता गाइए गणपति जगवंदन। मागत तुलसीदास कर जोरी मागत तुलसीदास कर जोरी बसहु राम से मानस मोरे बसहु राम से मानस मोरे गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन। शंकर सोवन भवानी की नंदन शंकर सोवन भवानी की नंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गाइए गणपति जगवंदन 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 गाइए गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए। ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी। ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी। हम में तुम में गर्ग कंब में कहे प्रहलाद पुकारी, राम कहे प्रहलाद पुकारी। हम में तुम में गर्ग कंब में कहे प्रहलाद पुकारी, राम कहे प्रहलाद पुकारी। हरि नरसिंह रो प्रहलाद हितधारी, हिरण्याकुश के मारी। कहे थे काजी, ऐसे हमरे राम। गज अरु ग्रह जर भीतर राम राम घुराई, राम 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 घुराई। गज अरु ग्रह जर भीतर राम राम घुराई, राम 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 घुराई। अरे ग्रह को मारे गजरू बारे, जाला में डूबा नहीं पाई। ऐसे हमरे अरे भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी। लंका जय रावण के मारे, संतन गह चुरावे, रामा संतन गह चुरावे। लंका जय रावण के मारे, संतन गह चुरावे, रामा संतन गह। भक्त विभीषण हृदय लगाए, लंका के राजा दे लाए। ऐसे हमरे आका हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी। जब जब वीर परे भक्तन पर आप आयु मारे, राम आप आयु मारे। जब जब वीर परे भक्तन पर आप आयु मारे, राम आप आयु मारे। हरि तुलसीदास कहे कर जोरी, रूपाया ने हरे भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी। भक्त हितकारी राम भक्त हितकारी, भक्त हितकारी राम भक्त हितकारी। ऐसे हमरे हरे भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी। ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी।
सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। प्रिय वर्षजन आरती के लिए प्रेम से सब कोई खड़ी जाएंगे। प्लीज स्टैंड फॉर आरती एवरीबॉडी। श्रीगणेशाय नमः। श्रीसरस्वत्यै नमः। श्रीगुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमो नमः। गौरीनन्दन गौरवर्णवदना श्रृङ्गारलम्बोदरम् सेन्दूरार्चित दिग्गजेन्द्रवदन पादौरननूपुरौ कर्णो लम्बविलम्बगन्धविलसत् कंठे च मुक्तावली श्रीविघ्नेश्वर विघ्नभञ्जनकर कुर्यात् सदा मङ्गलम्। देवी प्रपन्नार्ति हरे प्रसीद प्रसीद मातार्जगतोऽखिलस्य प्रसीद विश्वेश्वरि पाहि विश्वं त्वमीश्वरि देवी चराचरस्य। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदं लोकभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। जय राम श्रीराम जय जय राम। जय राम श्रीराम जय जय राम। श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम। आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सियपी की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सियपी। गावते ब्रह्मा देख मुनि नारद वाल्मीकि ज्ञान विशारद सुख सनकादिशेषी और शारद वरनी पवन सुत कीरत की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की। गावते संतते शंभु भवानी अरुघत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी। व्यासी आदि कवि पुंगव बखानी काखबु शुंदी गरुड़ के। आरती श्री रामायण जी की। गावत वेद पुराणी अष्टदश छबहु शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस गावत वेद पुराण अष्ट दस छऊ शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस मुनि जन धन संतन को सर्वस सारियंश सम्मत सबही की आरती श्री रामायण जी की। कली मले हरनी विषय रस पीकी सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति युवती की। कली मल हरनी विषय रस पीकी सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति युवती की। हरे निरोग भव भूरि यमी की काट मात सब विधि तुलसी की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की। भज गोविंदा जय गोपाला भज गोविंदा जय गोपाला भज मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला भज मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला। जय जय राम सिया राम राधे श्याम घन श्याम। जय जय राम सिया राम राधे श्याम घन श्याम। जय जय राम सिया राम राधे श्याम घन श्याम। जय जय राम सिया राम राधे श्याम घन श्याम। जय जय राम सिया राम राधे श्याम गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल। राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय। नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय। कैलाशपति विश्वनाथ पुरारी कैलाशपति विश्वनाथ पुरारी। नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय। सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। अपना अपना आसन पर बैठ जाएंगे।
Sit around, everybody. On behalf of my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, Shri Kumar, everybody knew him as Simon in the village. I wish to welcome every one of you to this evening's Satsang. It is an auspicious occasion in which we are here to celebrate his Janamdin, which was earlier this week. So I would like to invite you all now to listen to Hari Katha as given through the holy scriptures by Panditji, Shriman Pandit Ravindranath Maharaj.
प्यारे भक्तजनों, ये जजमान की ओर से मैं आप लोग की हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। कुमार और उसके परिवार की ओर से मैं आप लोग की स्वागत करता हूं। Let me just welcome all of you on behalf of Kumar and his Dharmapatni and his family to join with Dave and to how privileged we are to have the holy men with us, holy people, Pandit Baldev, everybody is very known to everyone. He was in the Marga, Graha Marga. Very popular, very precise. He used to give predictions. My eldest brother Pandit Ashram, very senior to all of us, and my nephew Pandit Omkar. Today I'm going to discuss the power and the effect of satsang. The power and the effect of satsang. We all know that the name of God purifies. And yet when we have problems, we fail to repeat God's name in our home, and we're looking for solutions everywhere else. But sitting quietly, quarantine yourself, sit quietly, and continue to repeat the name of the Lord. Because when the Baba giving you water to sip to purify the mental, physical and spiritual, nothing they say but the name of the Lord. Purification. To purify. And I want people to understand this. Stop running all over the place looking for a solution of your problem that you have created. And sing. Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Bole, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari. Bolo, Hari Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari. Now I want to remind you, when an egg is broken from within, life begins. And if the egg is broken from the outside, life stops. A lot of us, we are alive, but we have not started to live yet. Because the egg is broken from the outside. We only focus on the materialistic world and not in God's world, in the inner world. Just remember, the egg is broken from within, life begins. Begin to live. Sometimes we die and we did not begin to even live. And yet people say we're gone in a better place. And this could be a disaster. So we have the time, it's still not too late to begin this journey, the spiritual journey, because life is nothing but a spiritual journey. So we're going to do our invocation. What I want you to do is to clasp your hands and close your eyes and think about Shri Ram. That aspect of the Lord that we're going to sing. No, God has no shape, no form, no color, no creed, no race. But whatever container you put liquid, it takes the form of that container. If you want to see God in the form of Shri Ram, you prepare the container, you'll be able to just grasp that form. Hari Vyapak Sarvatra Samana. The Lord is Sarvatra. He's beyond the imagination of man's mind. So, for the sake of us to elevate and to become holy people, the Lord has taken incarnation. Especially people like me who read the scriptures and only focus on how much I know of the scriptures and not seeking liberation from what I know. But this is the type of people that God has really took avatar for, so that we will be able to have bhakti. Bhakti ke sadhan kar le vaikunth tumhare. So we'll have devotion, we'll see something, a form, and have devotion. जग में सुंदर है दो नाम, चाहे कृष्ण का हो या राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो श्याम श्याम। जग में सुंदर है दो नाम, चाहे कृष्ण का हो या राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो श्याम। So I remind you of all these beautiful things. Remind yourself. And don't live in a fool's paradise. We don't know if we'll come again. We passed it way about once. We know we are here now. Begin the journey. Begin the journey. And this is what will help us to go probably in a better place when we leave here. Nothing else. Not because I will come in the funeral and say the person had gone in a better place. And I always tell people I really don't know. If you know, I don't know. Where the person has gone in a better place or whatever, I don't know. We wish that they go in a better place. That's our wishes. Everybody. But we really don't know the state of the mind when the person was breathing their last. इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले, इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले, गोविंद नाम लेके फिर प्राण तन से निकले. So my friends, so much for now, the name of the Lord to recite. And we'll discuss a little more, but let us clasp our hands, grasp the form of the Lord, and don't let it go from the mind. And to do this, the more you close your eyes, the inner eyes will open. If you open your eyes to pray, you will look everywhere the eyes will. And everywhere the eye will go, the mind will go. You'll be sitting in your chair, and the mind will leave you from there and go everywhere the mind, the eyes go. So let's clasp our hands and pray, everybody. Lokabhiramam Ranarangadhiram Rajevanetram Raghuvansanatham Karunyarupam Karunakarantam Shri Ramchandram Sharanam Prabhade. Bhavani Shankaro Bande Shraddha Vishwasarupinau Yabhyam Vinana Pashyanti Siddhi Swantastamishwaram. Vande Bodhmayam Nityam Gurum Shankara Rupinam Yamasrito hi Vakropi Chandraha Sarvatra Vandyate. Sitaram Gunagram Punyaranya Viharino Vande Vishuddhi Vijnanam Kavishwara Kapishwaro. Let us welcome Hanuman. And he sits in the heart of all in Satsang, in the consciousness. He's always in Satsang. Recognize that he is here with us in your consciousness. Aaye Hanumant virajiye Katha kahu mati anusar Prem sahite gaddi dharo Padhariye pavan kumar siya Pati Ramchandra ji ki Jai Sharanam. Jo sumirat siddhi hoy Gannayak karivar badan करहु अनुग्रह सोई बुद्धि राशि शुभ गुण सदन मूक होई वाचाल पंगु चढ़े गिरिवर गहन जासु कृपा सु दयाले द्रवहु सकल कलिमले दहन नील सरोरहु श्याम तरुण अरुण बारिज नयन करऊ सुमम ऊर्धाम सदा क्षीर सागरे शयन करहु सुमम ऊर्धाम. If you want to lift the burden of your life, follow this. Lord was sleeping in the Seshaya. And Anand was upholding the Lord, the weight of the Lord and the earth at the same time, not moving. So the Lord was peacefully sleeping. Mother Lakshmi at his feet, wealth, but he is. Well, what the saints and sages saw, that although the serpent was upholding with the hood the Lord and the cosmic world, but they saw in the heart of this serpent, Anand, the Lord was there. And if you want to lift the burden of your life, then the Lord must always be in your consciousness. That's why Tulsidas writes, Neela sarorah shyam taruna aruna varije nayan करहु सुममा ऊर्धाम सदा क्षीर सागरे शयन कुंदेन्दु समदे उमा रमण करुणायन जाहिदीन परने करहु कृपा मर्दन मयन. Meditate upon the Guru, your spiritual guide. बिन गुरु ज्ञान के वट बिन मैया के भवसागर पार. Without a Guru in our life, the spiritual guide, we'll drift away all over the mundane world, not going to our destination. We need the Guru, the spiritual guide, the power of the words of the Guru. Bandhu Guru Pad Kanj Kripa Sindhu Nar Roop Hari Maha Mohat Kunj जासु बचन रवि कर निकर गुरुर ब्रह्मा गुरुर विष्णु गुरुर देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर साक्षात् पर ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे. Sing together with me. श्री गुरु चरण सरोज जान निज मन मुकुर सुधार वर्णोर भुवर विमल जसु जो दायक फलचार बोधहीन तनु जान के सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुध विद्या देव मुहि हरऊ कलेश विकार मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुलंघयते गिरिं यत् कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। नीलाम्भुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गम् सीतासमारोपितो वामभागम् पाणो महाशायकचारुचापम् नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम्। एकर्दन गजीवदन के पदबंधु कर जोर कृपा करो शिवनंदना बुद्धि बढ़ा जेहि मोर सिया पति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम। श्री सरस्वती माता। गाइए सब कोई, प्लीज सिंग एवरीबॉडी। जय जय श्री सरस्वती माता। जय 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 श्री रमा राधिका। श्री सरस्वती माता। प्रथम अभिनव में श्री गणेश को दूजे सरस्वती माँ। तीजे मदीनों की देवा को जो यहाँ से चला। जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता। बीनवो पंच सभी को ध्यान तुझे भूलगा। रामायण की अनुपम कर में हो सागर पार सदा। रामायण की हो सागर पार करा। जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता। जय 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 श्री रमा राधिका माँ। जय 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 श्री We want to welcome the Sankhya TV group for being here. God bless all the sponsors. And we have one of the most senior lady here, Mrs. Maharaj from the temple. She likes Kumar. Kumar is a real boy. When she have a puja, she say, Kumar, go come. She asks any Pandit if you will come. So, Mrs. Maharaj, nice to see you. We always must think about the ancestors when we are celebrating our Janamdin. If your mother is alive, I always encourage children, go and bow to your mother's feet, give her a hug and say, Ma, thank you for birth. thank you for bringing me in the world. Because she took us around 10 lunar months in her tummy, going through all the agony and the pain of pregnancy. But yet there was the joy to bring forth this baby. And as a matter of fact, all of us got love from our mother. Let me just remind you, and mothers are like God on the earth for us. When a mother gives birth to a baby, and the nurse and the doctor will take the baby and then they will bathe this baby under cold water, even in the States, cool in winter, and the baby will not make a sound. Will first cry, but after that, no. And the baby will never open the eyes. And when the mother is now fit to hold the baby, the nurse or the midwife will bring the baby and put it in the arms of the mother, and will tell the mother to nurse the baby. They will not bring any bottle, no nipple, nothing else. And they will tell the mother to nurse. And then the eyes of the mother will catch the eyes of the baby. The baby eyes will open in the mother's lap. And in the baby's eye, the mother will see purity. In the baby eyes, the mother is seeing the eyes of God. I hope every mother knows that. And because of that extent of love, that love that will flow in the whole being of the mother, for that baby, it will turn her blood into milk. That's the process. That's the process. God didn't put the milk in the mother's bosom, nor anyone else. The process is when the mother will look into the eyes. That's the bhajan says, ले लो दुआएं माँ बाप की है, ले लो दुआएं माँ बाप की, सर से उतरी की गदरी पाप की, ले लो दुआएं माँ बाप की. Take the blessings of your parents, children. And what we do? We relieve ourselves the bundle of sins that we carry in our head. गोद में माँ की आँख खुली जब देखा बाप के कंधे चढ़ के, देखा बाप के कंधे चढ़. माँ की गोद में, in the lap of the mother, the baby opens the eyes. गोद में माँ की आँखें खुली जग देखा बाप के कंधे चढ़ के, सेवा परी न होगी कोई इन दोनों की सेवा से बढ़ की, इन दोनों की सेवा से बढ़ की, ले लो दुआएं माँ बाप की. So your mother is God on the earth, and we're looking for a God that we cannot see, and we're seeing a goddess and a God in the home, in the personality of our mother and father, and we disrespect them, hoping to meet with this unseen God. That's impossible, very impossible. So I will do this bhajan to remember the ancestors of Kumar, his parents, Nana, Nani, Aja, Aji, 3 generations in each side. Today on his birthday, and he has made 70. When you have lived 70, you are in a position to be in God realization. That state called God realization. So we sing this bhajan. And may the pitras of his ancestors be happy today. पहिले पावो पखारू प्रभु फिर गंगा पार उतारू प्रभु फिर गंगा पार उतारू गंगा पार उतारू प्रभु जी पहिले पावो पखारू प्रभु फिर गंगा पार उतारू प्रभु फिर गंगा पार उतारू चरण कमल का धोव तुम्हारी छूने में इसके जरे बारी हो गए शिला यहीं या नारी हो गए शिला यहीं या नारी ऐसा ना होना वो हमारी मैं क्यों कार बिगाड़ूं गंगा पार उतारू प्रभु फिर गंगा पार उतारू पहिले पावो पखारू प्रभु फिर गंगा पार उतारू चरण कमल से गंगा जी ने चरण कमल से गंगा जी ने पावन जल यहाँ पाया करे पाव पिए चरणामृत धोकर पाव पिए चरणामृत तर जाए काया हमने आका खेवैया तुम भव सागर पार करे मैल झोल का ऐसा नाता मैं ना कभी बिसारूं मैं ना कभी बिसारूं गंगा पार उतारू प्रभु फिर गंगा पार उतारू May God bless your ancestors, these people who are responsible for what you are today and who you are today and where you are today in your life. So my friends, beautiful, as I said, we'll talk about Satsang. It says, Satasangatve nisangatvam, nisangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischaltatvam, nischaltatve jivan mukti. Satsang mein association of virtuous people in satsang, leading pure lives. What they do to us, they help us to detach from this materialist world. They help us to allow the egg to burst from the inside and not to the outside. So these people, the virtuous people, virtuous mind, not necessarily wearing the garb, the minds are virtuous. The minds are lifted, the consciousness. Detachment leads to freedom from delusion. And it's all because of satsang. Satsang that way. Tulsidas has written many things about satsang. And undeluded, from delusion, undeluded, one contacts changeless reality. We become with this changeless reality, the truth. You know when you know somebody's business and you're telling somebody, say that's the truth. Go and find the real truth. That is not the truth. People's business is not your business. That is not the truth. The truth is, when you go to a funeral and you see a body lying there, what came out of that body is the truth. Ram Ram, Satya hai, the Atma. Jab Atma shuddh ho jayenge, to Paramatma ho jayenge. When the Atma becomes pure, then it becomes Paramatma. There should be no difference with the Jiva and the Shiva. No difference. If we did not reach there, we should realize that this Lord I am searching for is right within me.
ओ मुँहों कहा ढूंढो बंदे मैं तो तेरे पास हूँ मुँह को कहा ढूंढो बंदे मैं तो तेरे पास हूँ मुँह को कहा ढूंढो बंदे मैं तो तेरे पास ओ मुँह को कहा ढूंढो बंदे मैं तो.
Everybody tells us, why are you looking for me? I'm not in the mandir, the masjid, I'm just right within you. Search. Pehchan sake to pehchan.
पहचान सके तो पहचान कन कन में छुपा है भगवान पहचान सके तो पहचान कन कन में छुपा है भगवान.
Just take the mind within. Pray, take the mind within. Meditate. Sit every day in some silence. The best penance is to be peaceful with the mind. No confusion in the mind. Be calm. Mind, calm, quiet. That's Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva represents the silence. Lord Shiva is nothing but the silence. Whenever the devatas had problem, they went everywhere by Brahma, Vishnu, and the last person they went to is Shiva. Because Shiva is the silence. You will get all your answers in the silence, not a confused mind. And so far, many of the minds are very confused. Confused mind, a weak mind. A weak mind is a mind that people will turn and twist, like a vice twisting a piece of metal to the size and shape that you want it. The mind must be strong. Meditation, the name, reciting, listening, Saravanam, Kirtanam. So my friends, it leads to that. And Tulsidas have given us so many lessons of satsang in the Ramayana. Let us sing to Hanuman, everybody.
ओ कहलो न जाए हनुमत तोहारो बराई कहलो न जाए हनुमत तुम्हारो बराई हनुमत तुम्हारो बराई कहलो न जाए हनुमत तुम्हारो बराई कहलो न जाए हनुमत कहलो न जाए हनुमत। सीता हरण किया है 10 मुख, तह तुम खबर जनाए रामा, तह तुम खबर जनाए। अमृत फल बाग उजारे, क्षण में लंका जलाई। कहलो न तोहरो बड़ाई हनुमत, तुम्हारो बड़ाई, तुम्हारो बड़ाई हनुमत, तुम्हारो बड़ाई। कहलो न जाए हनुमत। अमृत फल बाग उजारे, धरती तोड़ दसे पवन सुत, गए पताल समाये रामा, गए पताल। अहि रावण को शीश तोड़ के लन्नक से 2 भाई। कहलो न जाए हनुमत, तोहारो बड़ाई। कहलो न जाए हनुमत। तुमसा प्रबल कोई नहीं जागे, बड़े वीर कहलाए रामा, बड़े वीर कहलाए। तुमसा प्रबल कोई नहीं जागे, बड़े वीर कहलाए रामा, महावीर। श्री रामचंद्र सिर्फ रघुवीर है, लेकिन हनुमान महावीर है। वाह! Shri Ram is only the Raghuveer. He is the Veer of the Raghu race. But Hanuman is Mahavir. That's why we hold on to Hanuman. तुमसा प्रबल कोई नहीं जागे, बड़े वीर कहलाए राम। दास रघुनाथ की प्रिया स्वामी, बड़े कहाँ कयो प्रभुताई। कहलो न जाए हनुमत। तुम्हारो भराई हनुमत, तुम्हारो बड़ाई। कहलो न जाए हनुमत। पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। In Ramayana, many instances Tulsidas taught us of Satsang. Tulsidas discussed many beautiful things in the Ramayana. If you want a good book to read, politics, love, everything else, read the Ramayana. And Tulsidas, very beautiful, he wrote in the Ramayana. Very beautiful. This doha, beautiful doha, I like to sing this in every satsang. राम कथा मंदाकिनी, चित्रकूट चित चारु। तुलसी सुभग स्नेह बंद, सिया रघुबीर बिहारु। सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय। He spoke about Chitrakoot. Chitra means consciousness. Koot means to grind. But there's a place at Chitrakoot in India. But this is the Chitra. The Chit is your own consciousness. And Sri Ramchandra met all devotees in Chitrakoot. 15 years is that. Chitrakoot. Beautiful place. But Chitrakoot is one own consciousness. We have to grind the consciousness. You know, the Ram Katha is like the Mandakini river. That mountain, and the river is hitting this mountain, hitting this mountain, hitting. So grinding the consciousness with the name and Katha of the Lord. Now, if the Lord dwells in our heart in the course of the duration of Ram's Katha, whatever it is, Ram Katha, Krishna Katha, Shiv Katha, Hanuman Katha, anyone, because Ek Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. There's only one God. There's only one truth. I always say that there is no Christian God, no Muslim God, no Hindu God. There's one God. And that one God, His feet is worshipped in every altar. Different names, different forms for different people, different places.
took incarnation. We believe in Sanatana Dharma that God takes incarnation. We believe. When the world is in a turmoil, when man is failing to take the consciousness up and up, only studying to study Ramayana, who knows their Ramayana, who knows scriptures more, who can, and we are stuck, the Gyanis. But we must have what?
भक्ति से साधन कर ले वैकुंठ तुम्हारी है, वैकुंठ तुम्हारी है। भक्ति के साधन करे वैकुंठ तुम्हारी है, वैकुंठ तुम्हारी है। वैकुंठ तुम्हारी है, परलोक तुम्हारी है, मोक्ष तुम्हारी है। भक्ति के साधन कर ले वैकुंठ तुम्हारी है, वैकुंठ। राम के धनुष कर में कृष्ण का बसुरिया, कृष्ण का बसुरिया। राम तो राजा भय कृष्ण गौचरैया, राम तो राजा भय कृष्ण गौचरैया। और दोनों के भजन कर ले वैकुंठ तुम्हारी है। राम कृष्ण एक ही जानो, वेद न मानो। प्रेम प्रभु का रूप पहचानो, प्रेम प्रभु का रूप पहचानो। दोनों के भजन कर ले वैकुंठ तुम्हारी है।
Only with love you are able to recognize. Only with love. This is what Lord Shiva says in the Ramayana. Only with prem. Prem se pragat होते हैं प्रभु. With love we will be able to recognize and feel this energy within us, to know that this energy is within us. Siya Rama mai sab jag jane. Do not see God, you can't, but you have to know God is, and He dwells in everything. Sarva Swarupe Sarvaishe Sarva Shakti Sabanavite Vaivyasra no Devi Durge Devi Namostate. He's with everything, this Lord. The chair that you're sitting, the Lord is there. So don't kick the chair when you get up. Say thank you. Because you're comfortable. No? Why do we have to kick the chair when the chair? Although it's synthetic, but the energy is of God. To know God. So I bow. I know God was. Siya Rama mai sabajak jani. Jani means to know. Not I see God in you. I know. Just like the wind, you can't see the wind, but you know the wind exists. You feel the wind. And you're alive because of this air that we breathe in, what we call the wind. So my friends, Tulsidas says that if you want to turn yourself into a saint, a saintly person, to transform, that transformation, not change, Change is when you put water in the freezing compartment, it become ice. And when you take it out from there and you leave it outside, it again change back to water. So we don't want changes in our lives. We want transformation. Just like you take milk and you make dahi, you can't take the dahi and make back milk. You take the dahi and you make ghee, you can't take the ghee and make back the dahi. So you want transformation. I like the word transformation. To transform ourselves into the saintly, the rishis. What has the Lord achieved in Chitrakoot? What has He done? The establishment of Ram Raj, reign of all for the benefit of all, happened to take place in Chitrakoot. That's where the change, the transformation begins to take place. Ram Raj in our own lives, when the Lord will take His seat in the Singhasan, the throne of our consciousness. Not the evil forces, not the hate, the greed, the lust, the anger. And my friends, this is what He did in Ram. Where He established Ram Raj? In the forest, Because the Lord stood firm in His resolve that till each citizen of the land would be properly clothed, He will only wear the valkal, the clothing that those people, this is a leader. This is Ram Raj. This is why he was a good leader, Shri Ram. He was the only person who renounced his life. He did not enter the throne and then renounce his life. He renounced his life first and then he came in the throne. That's what made him a good leader. Shri Ram. If you want to see politics and you want to see democracy, then you have to study Shri Ram and his rulership. And if you want to see nepotism and so on, study Ravan, his parliament, in opposed to the parliament of Shri Ram. I did that in the radio for a little while, and I was able to. So my friends, this is Ram Raj. The Lord says, until people will get transport, I will walk on foot. So Padyatra, people say we walk in, started in Chitrakoot. Shri Ram, walking barefooted. Says the people have no vehicle, they walk on foot. And food, he says they have no food to eat, they only eat the bulbs and the roots and so on, and only in the season I will eat just like that. This is what a leader is about. A leader is not going to enjoy himself and bring pain and suffering to the law-abiding citizens and the God-fearing people. In Ayodhya Kand, it says such a leader will fall. The government will fall and such a leader will fall. And this is the word of God. His mill grinds slowly but surely. It will definitely happen. If you're looking around the world, look at the news around the world, you'll see what's happening to leaders now. The longest rope has an end. Even the state of emergency will come to an end. You don't do that as a leader. This is Ram Raj. And you know, my friends, that is what is Esther. So when you are in Satsang, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. You have to allow the Lord to dwell in your consciousness. In the duration of the katha when you go to Satsang. That's first lesson of Satsang. What we do, Tulsidas says,
Ram net spau sindhu sukhari, Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Naam let bhavo sindhu sukhari, काहे विचार सुजन मन माही, काहे विचार सुजन मन माही, जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम.
Tulsidas said that there's no doubt in his mind. There's no doubt in the minds of the learned one that the ocean of troubles and difficulties rise up on uttering the name of Ram, God. Why don't you sing the name of God in your home?
Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Bolo Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Bolo Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai.
So many lessons of Satsang. And this one, Tulsidas says,
बिनु सत्संग गणहारी कृपा, बिनु सत्संग गणहारी कथा, तो ही बिन मोहन मोह गयो बिन राम पद, होई नदृदय अनुराग सिया पति रामचंद्र जय जय.
Binu Satsang and Harikatha. Very beautiful. He says, Binu Satsang, the recitation of Harikatha, it is not possible without the association of saints. There is the only place with the association of the saints, like tonight or this evening here, that you will hear Harikatha, to lift our consciousness, the power of Satsang and the effect of Satsang. Gokaran. Gokaran mano Satsang hai. Gokaran represents Satsang. और खराब आदमी सत्संग में अच्छा हो जाते हैं. Even a wicked person in the cut-off Chanchula, living this fallen life, and was taken to Gokaran and followed people who was going there. By chance, she went into the mandir and she came into contact with Satsang. And that place she went was Gokaran. Gokaran mano Satsang hai. And what happened? Her life became transformed. So when we really go to Satsang for the sake of Satsang, to lift our consciousness, even the wickedest of person will be transformed. Sometime a person will come to a Satsang, somebody invite them to come. They say, come, let's go now, let's go. I experienced recently where a person came with somebody who brought them, and they came to me and said, well, tonight I really was touched. This happens to everybody. You might not be able to go to Satsang, but with somebody else you'll be able to go. So that's why the best thing you could do somebody who having problem is to take them to the temple or Satsang that you know you can't help them. Don't play Mario. You can't help them. You can't solve anybody's problem. We have problem ourselves. We all should try to invite people to go to Satsang. I always invite family, why don't you one Sunday every month go to the temple with your family and sit and pray, because we always say the family that pray will stay together. And we fit in together, but we're not praying together. We must fall apart. So it says, we cannot give up the attachment, this attachment. Marriage represents attachment. You cannot kill attachment. You could move it from, you could direct it from the world to God. That's what happened to marriage. And this attachment is what prevents us from our spiritual journey. No, it says, Mohge binuram pada hoi na drid anurag. We cannot have devotion for the feet of Ram without giving up our attachment. And our attachment cannot come. The attachment will not be able to come if we don't go and in the association of the holy people. Milahi na rukupati binu anuraga. We cannot meet with the Lord without love and devotion. We have to give up the attachment from the world. Like marriage.
प्रभु राम भगत भयहारी राह कतत मेरी नैन तकित भई नहीं छोरे आशा भारी प्रभु राम भगत भय.
A demon had a satsang with Shri Ram, a painful experience with God, and he turned his life straight into the Lord. A demon, no one here is demon like marriage. And he got his salvation. Hence the reason why Shri Ramchandra did not kill marriage. You cannot kill attachment. You could move it from the world to God. And marriage did this. It's teaching us.
जन्म जन्म के भाग हमारी पाई दर्श तिहारी तूती जग के नाथे सगरे शरण कमल बलिहारी
My friends, so many, it will take a whole yagya to discuss satsang, whole yagya, and sometime you will not be able to finish. If we go to Aranyakan, and listen to what Tulsidas says in Aranyakan, when the Lord met with Shauri, beautiful, in Aranyakan of Ramayana. Remember Sevari? Sevari means patience. The word Sevari, Sabari, means patience. She waited 108 years for God to come, when her Guru told her that the Lord will come. You see, sometimes we are able to go to God. Matang Rishi had to go to God. But he's telling his children, Sevari, he had only 3 disciples, Sevari, Jatayu, and Sampati. 108 years she waited to see, and Matang Rishi met with the Lord in Dwapar Yuga. So some of us have to go, difficult, and some of us the Lord will come. And if we are not able to go or to come, for the Lord to come to us, then hold on to the feet of the Guru. That's why Sugriv, that represents life, held on to the feet of Hanuman.
वनवासी मोरे राम.
108 years. And today we do a puja and we want everything from God the next day.
दूरन तो है कीते जाबू वनवासी मोरे राम. दूरन तो है कीते जाबू. युग युग बात निहारो रे मैं, राम हे राम पुकारो रे मैं. नैनन गंगा बहाऊं प्रभु, नैनन गंगा बहाऊं रे. वनवासी मोरे राम. दूरन तो हे कित जाऊं. रोम रोम में नैन लगावो. रोम रोम में नैन लगावो. जो मैं तुम्हारे दर्शन पाऊं, चरण धूरी बन जावो. प्रभु चरण धूरी बन जाऊं रे. वनवासी मोरे राम. दूरन तो ये किते.
I was discussing in puja today that Sevari used to pick the fruits, but she used to taste it first. If it was sweet for her taste, she said, this is for the Lord. She used to give the Lord the things she loved. And this is what you have to do. You must give the Lord the things you love. Give people the things you love, and you will get back the things you love. We give the cow grass to drink, and what the cow give us in return? White, nourishing milk. What are we giving to the world? What are we giving back to the world? Sevari, and she says, this is sweet for her taste. So this taste of the Lord she measured with the yardstick was her own taste. You must give God the things you love. Give to people the things you love and you will get back the things you love. If you give the things you don't love, you will get back the things you don't love in your life. This is important. The Lord met with her. Nice devotion. She's saying, Lord, how can I worship you? I am so dull with it. And to crown all this, I'm a lady. And the Lord said nice words, call her Bhamini. Kaho Raghupati sunu Bhamini bhata. Manahu ek bhakti karanata. Bhamini means the highest pinnacle of beauty. Shiveri was a senior lady, old lady. How can I? He was not referring to Shiveri's physical beauty. Today in the world we look at people physical beauty. And when we attach to that and the same person's beauty goes and everything happens after, what happens? We give up the person. But Shiveri, the Lord was referring to her inner beauty.
जाति पाति कुल धर्म बराई धन बल परिजन गुण चतुराई कहो रघुपति राम कहो रघुपति कहो रघुपति सुनो बामिनी बाता मान हुए भक्ति करना.
Beautiful lesson. Beautiful lesson. When the Pandit starts to read, everybody say, same Katha the Pandit reading, and you have practiced nothing in the Katha. You are not prepared for any other lesson. You never practice this. Say, I know the Katha. Who tell you you know the Katha when you never practice it? Never you practice it. And they will say the Pandit saying the same thing over and over. He has a right because you are not practicing. We are not practicing anything. We are not listening properly. We will not understand because we are not listening. So if we don't understand, what will we practice? If we don't understand anything, what will we practice? This is people's problem. Here the Lord, he was referring to Shiveri's inner beauty. That inner beauty attracts the Lord. Bhakti heen nar sohat kaise binu jalabarid dekhi jaise. Says, I am not attracted to your money, your status, your stature, your family lineage, and who is your parents, big time parents, and I'm not interested in that. I am only interested in the heart that is full of bhakti, love. Excessive bhakti. That's what. You have all the precious metal. You put it in an expensive piece of silk cloth. And you put some iron filing. And you put a mark in. What the mark will attract? Not the precious metal, but the iron filing. Become like that. And the Lord, you will attract the Lord in your life. You will attract the Lord. He will turn his face and he will smile. Prabhu mil jayenge. Prabhu mil jayenge. A line of the bhajan tells us.
प्रेम की अगन भक्ति सदन हो मन में लगन हो तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे प्रेम की अगन भक्ति सदन हो मन में लगन हो तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे ओ प्रभु मिल जाएंगे भजनों के बोल हो भाव अनमोल हो भजनों के बोल हो भाव अनमोल हो अर्चन के मोल हो तो प्रभु मुस्काएंगे ओ प्रभु मुस्काएंगे प्रेम की अगन भक्ति सदन हो मन में लगन हो तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे
time, when people were doing well in their life, Pandit Mahadev, the older people say, God smile on you. You have to win God's smile. Win that smile of the Lord. How can you do this? Bhajano ke bol ho. Live your life like a puja. Puja ki raah ho to. Your life must be like a puja. Your whole life must be an offering to the Lord. Not only the flowers that we offer, not only the fruits that we offer, not only the prasad, our whole life will become like a puja. Our whole life on a daily, in a moment-to-moment basis must be an offering to God. That puja, then we will win the smile of the Lord. Prem ki agan. The fire of love burning for the Lord. When they go to Christian somebody, they dock them in the water. And they ask them, they see God. And sometimes they hold them down, they will see God. And they will say, yes. You know why? They shouldn't say, I see God or not. I was stifling some air to live. And that's the kind of urge you must have. That's though somebody put your head down in the water, holding you there. And the only thing you want, what? Breath to live. And that breath is God. That's pran, that's God. That's life itself. So my friends, the Lord said to Sevori,
सावधान सुनो धरो मन माही प्रथम भक्ति संतन कर संगा दूसरी रति मम कथा प्रसंगा कथा प्रसंग रामा कथा प्रसंगा दूसरी रति मम कथा.
My friends, it tells us that the first thing, bhakti, the first thing, he's given 9 forms of devotion, and he spoke about Prathama Bhakti Santan Karsanga, to keep the association with the saintly people, the saint and sages. That's what he said. To keep association. And when you keep the association, what you hear in Satsang? Katha. You will love dusri rati mama katha prasanga, and you will love to hear the praises of the Lord. And when you want to hear the praises of God, you want to hear the katha. Who will deliver the katha? No one but the Guru. No one but the Guru. In Aranyaka, in Sundarkand, Hanuman was that Guru. Hanuman, hold on to Hanuman. Hanuman burned the Lanka. And the Lanka represents greed, lust, anger, and hate, and jealousy. And that is what caused it. That's the Rakshasas, and it dwells in our consciousness. Hanuman, मेरी मन की लंका जला दो. Maruti, मेरी मन burn the Lanka of my mind. Hanuman can do this, to burn the Lanka. If you study Sundarkand, beautiful, su andar, you will be able to make your inner beautiful when you study Sundarkand. If you cannot study the Ramayana, whole Ramayana in its entirety, please study Sundarkand. It brings about awakening, a spiritual awakening in our lives like Hanuman. Everyone Hanuman came in contact with, he brought them back to consciousness. They were sleeping unconscious. Sleep. When Tulsidas speak about sleep in the Ramayana, it's not pertaining to a bed. It's spiritual sleep. Vibhishan was asleep because he was living in Lanka. Shri Ram, Hanuman told him, you got to leave Lanka, you cannot pray in Lanka. Lanka mano kaam hai, krodh hai, mad lobh hai Lanka. Bhago. And then he met with Lankini. So many devotees he met with, but I want to touch on this one. When he entered in the evening, dusk dark, because he says, in night you could see the real character of people. Ill-mannered, if they're well-mannered or ill-mannered in the night. Because everybody had a sun uppermost in their mind and so on, so they pretend to be good. Many people. But in the night, that's why he chose to go Lanka in the night. He said, I will see these people, if they're well-mannered or ill-mannered. And he took the form of a mosquito. But in those days, a mosquito would have been like a human being. Yes. So, and he entered Lanka. And when he entered Lanka, this Rakshasin, Lankini, she was guarding Lanka because when Ravan and Kunkaran and Vibhishan, they were doing tapasya to Brahma to get boon. When the Lord was pleased, Brahma is like the legislator, the one who make the legislation, you can't please them, you could please the judge, and Lord Shiva is like the judge, but not the legislator at all, and Brahma is like that. And these Rakshas were able to please Brahma. And Brahma, when Ravan, he was pleased with Ravan and says, Barmango, Ravan, you know what Ravan said? I don't want God to kill me. He didn't want God to kill him at all. He said, God should not come to kill him. He don't want God to kill him, right? But Brahma, he knew. And Ravan began to, and he continued to say that man and monkey, leave that out. I'm not afraid of them. Hence the reason why the Lord took the form of a man, and the monkeys and the devatas took the form of the monkeys and come, the monkeys and bears. So Ravan at no time detected the Lord, this cosmic Lord. He thought was an ordinary human. At no time. And only an ordinary boatman on the banks of the river, Kewat. No secular education. When he saw Shri Rama asking him to bring the boat, he says he has to be a madman. The boat cannot run in the sun. It's a run in the river. And then when he became that spiritual, because he was sitting very cool, calm and collected. That's devotion. And then he said, if he is not mad, then he has to be Bhagwan. Mai tumhari man mein janta hu, Prabhu. Kevat said to Prabhu Ram, I know who you are. Chuvat sila bhai nari suhai. You see, he knew the pastimes of God. If you want to know God, you have to study the pastimes of God when God comes to earth. The Leela, Naam, Roop, Leela or Dham or Sant. You have to meet the Sant. You have to have the spiritual guide in your life. So my friends, what Lankini did? Lankini stopped him. And he says, hey, you coming in Lanka like a thief? Anybody who comes in the Lanka have to get my permission, because she was there serving Kunkaran and Ravan and Vibhishan while they were doing tapasya. And when the Brahma was given food, he says, you see your salvation will come from a devotee of God. Right here, the devotee of God will come and meet with you. In Uttarakhand, he says that if you can take these eyes and see God, you're fortunate. And if you're not fortunate, then when you meet with her, holy a saint. And what happens?
जाने हूँ नहीं मर्म शत मोरा मूड आहार जहाँ लग चोरा
because you're a thief. And what Hanuman did?
मुट्ठी का एक महा कपी हनी दूधेर भ्रमत धर निधन मन्ये जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम.
You know, this is a beautiful lesson of satsang, of meeting with a holy person. Hanuman touched the lives of so many, but one of the persons whose life was touched was Vibhishan. But Vibhishan was in Lanka. He directed Hanuman where to go and find Sita, but Vibhishan could not have gone himself. But he became a little conscious spiritually. One day we discussed that. Why? He directed Hanuman, and he was living in Lanka. Sita represents peace, truth, worship, purity. That was Sita. So Hanuman was in search of truth. Sita, we all should be, if you want to become a spiritual being, and we have to search for this truth, which is Sita. Shanti Sita Samanita Atmurama Virajate. This is the Sita Hanuman was in search. We all should. If we want to cross this mundane world and everything, we have to, and to search for Sita, we have to have our own personal purity. The mind inside must be pure, like Hanuman. So she called Hanuman a thief. Only a thief could know a thief. Only a liar could know a liar. If I have on a green goggles, I see everybody green, everybody not green. The defect is in my eyes. So if you see somebody's fault, the defect is in your eyes. It is your fault you're seeing in the person. You check yourself. Because if a person has no fault at all, they will see no fault in that person who have all the faults. And you must have the eyes of a saint. Because if a saintly person come here, their eyes are pure and purified, and they will call everybody a divine soul. If we want to judge, criticize and condemn somebody, then have the eyes of a holy person. Have the eyes of a saint. And Hanuman, what he did? Mutika ek mahakapi hani. He clasped his fist like this and he struck Lankini on her cheeks. No, don't want to do nobody that. He'll tell you where she got the blow. Rudir bamat dharni tan mani. Blood came out her mouth. Blood represents illusion, Maya. She was in Maya. And Hanuman struck her in her perverted intellect. Because she was protecting a thief. She was serving the thief. And she's seeing Hanuman as a thief. How did Shri Ramchandra saw Hanuman? And how Lankini seen Hanuman? Hanuman, Shri Ramchandra saw Hanuman. And that's the only time he called him son. He never called Hanuman son. He never. It's only when he saw Sita, and Sita called Hanuman son. Then Shri Ram, when he returned, Shri Ram called him son. Only a father could give certificate, that's son, that's your son. Sita called him son. Look at what Hanuman, how he is.
सुनो कपितो ही समान उपकारी नहीं कोई सुर नर मुनि तनु भारी सुनो कपितो ही समान उपकारी नहीं को सूर्य नर मुनि तनुधारी, प्रति अपकार करो का तोरा, सन्मुख होई जगत मन मोरा। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय।
After he returned, he met with Sita and so on, and she blessed him. Ashta Siddhi Naunidike Data. So many blessings Sita gave. Ashta Siddhi. And he came back, and he was close to Shri Ram, and Shri Ram told him, he called him son. Sunu sutra tohi urna main nahi. Says there is no one in this world, O Hanuman, he called him son. Shri Ramchandra now called Hanuman son. He never called him son in the whole Ramayana. After he met with Sita, then he called him son. Sunu sutra tohi urna main nahi. Dekho kari vichar man mahi. Right? Suno kapitoi saman upkari. Says there is no human being, there is none in the world who have done devotion like you to me, O Hanuman. And he was saying this in front of Lakshman. There's the next katha. What happened? Next katha will tell us. And my friends, this is how Shri Ram saw Hanuman, how Lankini seen Hanuman. Like a thief, because she was guarding a thief. Ravan, who kidnapped Sita. No, he did not kidnap Sita as people kidnap women and rape them and do them all the wrong things. No, he wanted peace in his life. Ravan had no peace. Because the Ashok tree that was bringing peace in Lanka, Hanuman rooted out. And there was no more. So he had no peace in his life, Ravan. But he was not prepared to surrender to the divine mother, the nature, Mother Nature, to bring that peace in his life. He kidnapped. That's what he did. Many people think peace is sold in a bottle on a shelf. Going to a party? No. You only get peace from God, Lord Shiva. From your Guru and God. From this world you get happiness today and unhappiness tomorrow. Happiness today, unhappiness tomorrow. Unhappiness the next day, happiness. It comes and go like this. You don't want to be in that janjar. You have to leave that. Jagat janjar.
Ram gun gaane lage.
You have to remove. So this is what has happened. Sita represents peace. Ravan wanted peace. He was not prepared to surrender. As we, when we go and bow and we surrender. Sharanagati. Sharanagati. That's why Lord Shri Ramchandra stood behind the tree. Because if he came out and saw Bali, Bali would have surrendered completely to Shri Ram. But he promised Sugriv that he will slay Bali. Sharanagati. That's why he said, if Bali don't see me, he will not surrender. So I will be able to fulfill the words that I gave to Sugriv. When you see the Lord, Sharanagati. And my friends, Hanuman clasped his fist again and waiting for... And you know what she says? She clasped her hands and she said,
बिकल हो सीतई कपि के मारे, तब जानस निशिचर संभारे। बोलो जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। ताते मोरी रामा, ताते मोरी अति पुण्य बहुता, देखो नयन राम कर दूता। जय राम श्री राम जय Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
She surrendered because the illusion, the delusion, the maya that she was in, he struck her perverted intellect. And that's what the blood represents. Maya. Ratavirat, Maya, she was in Maya. In delusion, Maya. And he strike her in her perverted intellect, removing the Maya, and she know, Tata Mor Ati Punya Bahuta. First she saw him as a thief. The same lady who saw Hanuman as a thief, here she's saying, and she clasped her hands, today I am taking my eyes and I am looking at a true devotee of Bhagavan Ram. Boli Rajaram Chandra Bhagavan ki jai.
तात स्वर्ग अपवर्ग सुख धरे तुलाइक अंग तुलनता ही सकल मिले जो सुख लो सत्संग सियापति रामचंद्र की जय.
My friends, if you put the blessings and the happiness of all the spheres, Swarg, Tat, Swarg, Apavarg, Sukh, Dharu, Tula, Ik, Ang, and you put Satsang in one side, Satsang will overweigh the happiness of all the worlds put together. Satsang, the power of Satsang and the effect of Satsang. The effect is that transformation took place in the life of a demoness Lankini. And she stopped serving. So Ravan lose so many by just Hanuman touching their life. So many Rakshasas was awakening. And my friends, whenever you get the opportunity to go to Satsang, here he is saying that if you take your eyes and see God in Uttarakhand, you're very fortunate. Lekin dona mumkin hai, if that is impossible, to see a devotee of God. And if that is impossible, because sometimes you know a true devotee of God. Everybody claim to be true devotee of God. A true devotee of God don't advertise themselves. Just like when God came on the earth and Hanuman asked him all the questions. He answered him the 6th question. He said, last one he didn't answer him. Hanuman asked the Lord, Sri Ram, he said, are you the Lord that took incarnation? God needs no proof. If a person is going to prove to the world they are God incarnated, then you don't worry about that. He never answered him that question. Hanuman had to
बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होई राम कृपा बिनु सुलभम सो सत्संगत मद मंगल मूला सोई फल सिद्धि सब साधन फूला. बोलो जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय.
Tonight everybody fortunate. If the first two, it is impossible in your life, then when you find itself in satsang, you know, sometimes they say, Kumar invite me, I had to go, how we go look. If God didn't bless you, you couldn't come here, you won't even talk about how we look. God bless you all to come here, not Kumar. You know more people probably Kumar and not here. So once you find yourself in satsang, either by yourself or through someone else, consider yourself to be blessed at that moment, that I have earned the grace of God. Bina Prabhu ki kripa se satsang prap nahi hota. You cannot go to satsang. So begin, if you don't go satsang, you are a person, not you, you are in a satsang. Who fail to go to satsang and make all the excuses, I want you to rethink this. Ask God to bless you to go in a place where His name is being chanted, His praises are being sung, to lift and help yourself. This is the only way your spiritual journey will take a height. My friends, I want to leave you here. Kumar been serving and in Satsang for how many years now, Kumar? About 50 years. And you know, you had the lady that you have to give all the compliment to is his wife, you know. Kumar living here like how Vibhishan is living in Lanka. He was living like the tongue between the 32 teeth. Now, that's a nice lesson. What is the meaning of the tongue between 32 teeth and the Tulsi? That's right there. So one day with this very deep philosophy. This lady there. And you know what? 3 daughters. And nobody could say that these daughters ever differ from the road of Dharma. Nobody could point eyes. And it's all because of this lady behind. And the satsang today is because of this lady. Not Kumar, you know. This lady called me his Dulahin, who is my Chelin. I gave her mantra. I thought that she just accepted the Guru's Kumar. No, she wasn't initiated at all. And you give her mantra. And oh, she's really a devotee of God because she has all respect for her Guru. When I come to this home, that's how they treat me. Like if they... And this when a person will see, not... When that's their blessing, you know. Today a person text me and say, Baba, we are waiting that when you will come in our home and they give the date of the puja, when you will bring with you that beautiful aura and your blessings to us in your puja. When a person has those kind of thoughts, those are the people who will be lifted, not me, you know. Guru hi rah gaya chela bhai sakkar. This chela might cross the Bausagar, but the Guru would not be able to cross. These are the people you need to pay respect to. Those are the type of people. You know what much it takes from a person to come and bow to the feet of the Guru or someone else, the parents? That's the person is great, not the people, not the person you're bowing to. When a person comes to bow to my feet, I immediately, my heart goes to their feet. And I don't see them nothing like else but a child of God, a devotee. I see the God. Because they could do that. Because they could do that. A lot of people can't do that. And that's one of the first lesson and step to God realization, humility, to surrender, humility and love. Kumar, and I remember today, I traced him, Kumar went to puja today with me, hustling back in all that traffic. We had San Fernando, DB and so on. And he reached home late and he having satsang. That's the amount of love he has for this. You might get a little token of appreciation from people, but people really cannot compensate you. When we think we pay upon it money to come and do the puja, well, you're in trouble. Cannot pay the pandit. You give him some dakshina. You can't pay him. If it was about pay, we'd raise it. We'd make a union. Mustn't think so. Always thank Baba for coming. Always, all my judgment, Baba, thank you for coming to do our puja. I say, I want to thank you for allowing me to come and do the puja. I am not ashamed. This is when you will be lifting yourself by yourself with your own actions. And Kumar, I remember the days when we moving from yug to yug and night after night. Kumar had no vehicle. We go down south, Pandit Baldev, all over, sometimes Sidras, and we drop Hisha Gonas. And he has to take a car and come Kurep and then come in here. And this is the kind of sacrifices he made. Not if he was thinking about the dollar and cents, then he said, I'm going. I want to commend him and compliment him, Kumar. Live long, healthy and strong and freed no man in tongue. And that's what he is, right? God has blessed him. He has many vehicles that you know, and he has transport. And he come from here and he go all part of Trinidad to fix the bedi for the pandit to perform puja. And that alone need to be that commendation to Kumar. And we want to give blessings to the Dharampatni, all the girls. The people could tell you that in the area, you can't hear nothing about these children. And you know what? He married the 3 girls. Big wedding, Kanyadan. Gave to the 3 girls. Yeah. So And my friends, so I will stop here. I want to just sing one bhajan to Hanuman, one to Sri Ram, and we have a lot of pandits that will want to bless Hanuman. Hanuman. He's like Hanuman. He's like really Hanuman. I like this one. You see, I stopped singing all these bhajan because people turn it into chutney, and this is a nice bhajan. This one.
कब लोगे हमरे खबरिया हो बजरंग बल हो बोलो कब लोगे हमरे खबरिया हो बजरंग हो बोलो कब लोगे हमरे खबरिया हो बजरंग बली कलयुग एक पल पीछा न छोड़े कलयुग एक पल पीछा न छोड़े पीछा न छोड़े रामा पीछा न छोड़े पग पग पाप की गटरिया हो बजरंग बल हो बोलो कब लोगे हमरे खबरिया हो बजरंग.
It's in Kalyug. If your mind will stray from God for one moment, your feet will go on the right, the path of unrighteousness. Pag pag paap ki gatariya, you will be filling the gatariya with the jhori, with sins.
काम क्रोध मत लोभ मिटा दो रामा लोभ मिटा दो काम क्रोध मत लोभ मिटा दो रामा लोभ मिटा मोह माया के बजरिया हो बजरंग हो मोह माया के बजरिया हो बजरंग हो कब लोगे हमरे कबरिया हो बजरंग.
The calm and the growth and the love represent Lanka, and Hanuman burned the Lanka. Ask Hanuman to burn the Lanka of your mind. Moh maya mein ki bajariya.
राम नाम धन कर लो कमाई राम कर लो कमाई राम नाम धन कर लो कमाई राम कर लो कमाई भर दो मन की तिजोरिया हो बजरंग.
You want to earn wealth? The best wealth in your life that you could take with you is the name of Ram. Because when you go in, they search you, the immigration of Jamraj. And they're not from Trinidad that you could bribe them. They're searching you for the name of Ram.
राम नाम धन कर लो कमाई.
That's the wealth you should earn, the name of Ram. And place it in a safekeeping in the mind. Nobody cannot take it from your mind. Only you alone could leave it alone. But nobody cannot take it.
राम नाम धन कर लो कमाई भर दो मन की तिजोरिया हो बजरंग हो बोलो भर दो मन की तिजोरिया हो बजरंग बली कब लोगे हमरे खबरिया हो.
The writer is saying, if you want to get to the city of Ram, you must go through Hanuman. Our forefathers, they knew this. And they had their faith and their trust. They trusted the eyesight of Hanuman. They trusted the intelligence of Hanuman like Sugriv. That represents life.
कभी दिनेश तू ही चरण परत है चरण परत भय चतर परत है कभी दिनेश तू ही चरण परत है पहुँचे न राम की नगरिया हो बजरंग ओ मोहे पहुँचे न राम की नगरिया हो बजरंग कब लोगे हमरे खबरिया हो बजरंग बोलो कब लोगे हमरे खबरिया हो बजरंग बली बजरंग बली।
My friends, Kumar is the one who's asking Hanuman, take me to the city of. Today whole day I was telling every puja I went, Pahuche na Ram ki nagariya. Oh Lord, Hanuman, take me to the city of. Beautiful lessons of Hanuman. Let Hanuman touch your life. Let your satsang begins with Hanuman in your Hanuman puja. Just do not do puja mechanically, and it's fashionable to bury a lot of jandi in front of your house for people to see and say that you're a spiritual person. That don't make you that, some people. Give thanks to the Lord, give praises to the Lord. Thank you, God. My puja, everything I offer here, my gratitude, my thank you, and my love is reflected in all the prasad and everything. My friends, I will stop here and I will ask Pandit Omkar to say a few words, and then Pandit Dani, I wanted Pandit Dani to speak. We have Pandit Hardev and so on. So give them a few, right? They all know Kumar. They all went around with them, Kumar. You know. As a matter of fact, Pandit Baldev was very touched with Kumar and his being a good now and professional now, we call him.
Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Vidyashi, Revered Gurus gathered here this evening. We all gathered here to worship Bhagwan through the invitation of Kumar. And as Panditji said, Kumar, he's given his life to service of Dharma. And it said in Shiv Puran, Satya Asray Paro Dharma. The greatest Dharma is Dharma of truth. Whatever actions we perform it in the awareness that we're doing it in the name of Bhagwan, for God, and all the results and the rewards are for God. This is what Kumar is doing. We pray to God that he continues to do this. Because Panditji gave us so much knowledge tonight. Satsangatveni sangatvam nirmohatvam. And just like Lankini, she removed her moha, then she became nishchal tattvam, that state of seeing everything as one. Bhagavan, then she saw Hanuman. Yes. This is how it works. This is what the truth is. And this is what we have to work towards in our whole existence. Because in the Brahma Puran it says as well, Nahi Satya Paro Dharma. I said this on Sunday. There's no greater dharma, it's truth. And what is that truth? As Panditji said, Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti Ishavasyam Idam Sarvam. Bhagwan is the one truth. This is why we come to Satsang, the congregation of truth. And this is why our lives should be a Satsang, because we work towards truth, for truth, in truth, which is Bhagwan. And I close with this Kumar, now this is the month of Kartik. And it's important that we worship Bhagwan Vishnu every day. Worship Lakshmi Mata, we light our Akash Deep, we light the Tulsi Deep. And why we do all of this? This last 4 months, we've been worshipping Bhagwan. And we want to get to that state of, as Panditji described, Satsang, that we know that Bhagwan is the one truth. And I leave this slok from Bhagavad as your blessing, all of our blessings, that we remember that Bhagwan is that one truth. Satyavratam satyaparam trisatyam satyasya yonim nihitam cha satye satyasya satyamrita satyanetram satyatmakam tvam sharanam prapanna. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai.
Pandit Hardev, give Pandit Hardev the microphone. Come this side.
बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र की जय. Upholding Pandit, other Pandits, the main Shrotas and family and all the divine souls gathered this afternoon. It is wonderful to be amongst you all in Satsang, and we have to be thankful for Kumar and his birthday for this. because satsang is a thing very scarce at this time in our lives. And I want to congratulate Kumar for having the satsang and those who are responsible with him to organize the satsang. Because many people celebrate their birthday in different ways. Some have a party, some go abroad, some go on a sea cruise, and what have you. But Kumar and his family thought of having a satsang, and not to be selfish with it, but to invite all of us. Where all of us can be part of the satsang, not to just sit and listen to the satsang, but to be part of it. And as Panditji said in his discourse, it is the greatest blessing you can get, to be in satsang, where you can learn about God. So, Kumar, on your birthday, may God bless you, may God bless your family, may you have all success in life, and may you live for many, many years and serve Dharma in the way you have served and you continue to serve. Boliye Siyapar Ramachandra ki jai.
Pandit Hardev had so many experiences with Kumar in satsang, moving. As a matter of fact, Kumar used to go with him and Pandit Ashram. In all the yagyas, they had to go first and perform the puja. And they did a lot of work, hard work, getting there early in time and performing the puja. And Pandit Balev, aye.
Chabalo Raja Ramachandra ki jai. Let us all clasp our hands and join together in prayer as we seek the grace and blessings of Bhagwan. Om Loka Bhiramam Ranarangadhiram Rajeva Netram Raghubansanatham Karunya Rupam Karunakarantam Shri Ramachandram Sharanam Namami. Bolo Raja Ramachandra ki jai. You know, when Kumar called me, the day he called me and said, I'm inviting you, I didn't have my diary. I told him that. I said, I don't have my diary with me. I don't know what I'm doing. But when I hung up the phone and I thought about it, I said, I have to come to this satsang. When I checked my diary, I had a puja for 5 this evening. And the people were very accommodating. In fact, there were many distinguished persons and they rearranged everything. I was at Dowlat's place, the attorney at law in Digo Martin. He had invited there the Rahals, John Rahal, Joseph Rahal, the Locklins. They were all there at the puja. There was a point I'm making. They had to change all these people to accommodate me, because I told them, I would very much like to attend. The first time Kumar has invited me, and I would like to be here. And they accommodated me. Kumar is a person who lives the perfect Hindu life. The way he carries about himself, the love with which he does his work. As Panditji said, I don't know where he got that from, but that's so correct. I always admire Kumar. I admire the family, the way they would. So it's wonderful to be here with the birthday boy, to join with him on this occasion of his birthday and to share a few moments with him. I would like to just make one point and then we'll do an Ashirvad. What is Satsang? Satsang, Panditji has said many things on Satsang and we can never finish talk about Satsang. But that just moment, the last doha you read, Tat Swarag Apavarga Sukha Dhariya Tula Ika Ang Tulaya Natahi Sakala Mili Jo Sukhalav Satasang. That moment that Hanuman struck Lankini, that was Satsang. That moment. When we meet someone, we clasp our hands, Sitaram, that's Satsang. When we recognize the presence of God. And that is why we say Sitaram when we meet. In fact, Bhagwan Shankar says, Jin karanam leta jagamahi, sakala amangala moola nashahi. Jin karanam, who takes that name, leta jagamahi, sakala amangal moola nashahi. It destroys the root of all amangal, inauspiciousness. Karatala hohi padarthachari. And within one's grasp, one has the 4 rewards of life. Dharma, Artha, Kam and Moksha. Jinakaranam, which is the name? Jinakaranam Siyaram Jagamahi, who takes the name of Sita and Ram. So that's why when we see person Sita Ram, that's a moment of satsang. But when we understand that we have seen Sita and Ram in that person. So I would like to do an Ashirvad at this time. You have the lota there? Yep. Omkar? Yes? So, and this Ashirvad, Ayud Drona Suti, that you should live as long as the son of Ashwathama, of Dronacharya Ashwathama. Ayud Drona Suti, Shriyo Dasharathi. You should have wealth like that of Dasharath. Shatru Chayo Raghavi. Your enemies should be destroyed as Ram destroyed his enemies. You should have strength like Balaram. You should have knowledge like Vidura. You should be truthful like Yudhishthir. When time to be proud, you'd have time to be proud too, like that of Duryodhana. And may your name grow far and wide. So let us all join, if not in words, in thoughts, with this Ashirvad for Kumara and his family. Ayudadrona Sute Shriyo Dasharate Shatru Chayo Raghave Aishwaryam Gatischa Pavane Manam Cha Duryodhane Sauryam Shantanave Balam Haladhare Satyam Cha Kunti Sute Vijnanam Vidure Bhavantu Bhavataha Kirtischa Narayane. Bolo Raja Ramachandra ki jai. So Kumar, it was my pleasure. You extended that invitation so I could be here with you and our esteemed Pandit Ravindranath, Pandit Omkar, Pandit Hardev, Pandit Ashram, and all of you here to join in these moments of satsang. Sitaram.
And Pandit Dani is one of the very esteemed Pandit of this country. Very brilliant, he's very bright as a Pandit, astrology and everything else. Very humble. He has demonstrated that to come to the home of Kumar. Pandit Ashram? Pandit Ashram spent many nights on the highway coming with Kumar from Yagyas.
Prem Solas bin Ravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Devotees, you have heard quite a bit about Kumar. But Kumar is very, very great. He's a great young man. I would say young man because he has fought so many battles and he's still going like I knew him a few years ago, 20, 30 years ago, and he's still moving. Now, he is focused on what he is doing, that is, he is filling his banking account, his spiritual banking account. Now, wherever he goes, he faces so many trials and tribulations. Because when you go to prepare for puja, for yajna and so on, you get a situation that you think in Lanka you can't prepare anything. And in half an hour, Kumar will transform the whole place like heaven. And then we can do puja and we have satsang and yajna and so on. So he is a magician also. And he keeps going because every day he goes to prepare, you get all kind of tests. Like if another person, they'll give up this because you really get mental tests. And so Kumar is learning from all these experiences to control his temper, control himself, and to get closer and closer to God. He has brought all the children so close to the Lord now. So he's doing, as Pandit said, he's living a real Hindu life, doing all the duties that he has to do. A Hindu father supposed to do,
That is to make himself first a spiritual person, very close to God, bring his children, his wife and so on. And Baba said the Dulahin is the greatest, because as we are told, Kumar is the head of the house, But the Dulahin is the neck. The neck is able to push the head wherever it wants to. So that's how she is able to keep him intact. So he is doing well, and very few people can imagine the kind of effort he makes and the progress he is making in his own life. So we wish, like all of us, we're very happy to be here, and we are all very fortunate to be here. And we are fortunate to have a person like Kumar with us in puja and jagya and so on, because I say when he's around, he transforms the whole place into heaven. That with his hands and so on, and he has everything in his brains. Any puja you want to do, Kumar can help you. Without you going there, he fixes everything, and if everything is proper. So we have to congratulate Kumar and pray that he continues to live long, and may the Lord continue to bless him. So let's all join together. We put our hands and ask the Lord to bless Kumar and his family, and may they all go from strength to strength spiritually. Because as we know, that is the purpose we are here in life, to gain God and nothing else. All the other things we do, name and fame and certification and so on, is only for here. But the hereafter is what we do with our lives, and the purpose is to gain God, nothing else. All right? Because we cannot take anything with us. Even this body, when we die, will drop and remain right here, either burn or bury. But what goes with us are our good deeds. And Kumar is doing well, and not from himself only, but everybody who he comes into contact with. As I said, he transformed the whole place into heaven. And also it reminds of some of the people who have yagya and so on, because they want to have yagya on a puja and they have nothing. All right? And Kumar walks with everything, flowers and all the things necessary. So he is really worshipping God in his life, everything he does. So let's all join together and pray. May the Lord continue to bless him. Om Shri Krishna Kushalam Karutu Bhavatam Data Prajanam Sukham Nirvignam Gananayaka Pratidinam Bhanu Pratapodayam Shambhuste Dhanadhanya Kirti Matula Durga Rinasham Sada Gangate Khalu Papaha Nishidam Lakshmi Sada Tishtatu. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. God bless God. Happy birthday.
On behalf of Kumar and his entire family, I want to let you know that he appreciates all of you who came, that he extended invitation to come in the road. He told me this. This week he told me his happiest moment in life is when he was in Satsang, going around and listening to the different pandits, because he did the Bedi Puja preparation for many pandits, for Pandit Ramnath Vyas and the Prasad brothers and so on. Many of the pandits, Pandit Param and everybody else, and they all was fond of him. Everybody knew him as Simon. That's his real name, I think, and the late Pandit Krishna from Karani said, we can't have you, people calling him Simon, so he put the name Kumar. Pandit Krishna from Karani, and called, they say, I'm going to put your name Kumar. He came up here to do a yaga and Kumar. He wanted to know if you throw away the name. But we all know him as Kumar, but you're asking him as Simon? Gyan moolam tadhyatmanam. ज्ञान का मूल है, आत्मा का परिचय होता है. The root to knowledge is to know Atma, the Atman. परिचय, आत्मा ज्ञान का मूल है, शिव जी की भक्ति. And if you want to really come face to face with Atman, you have to have devotion to Lord Shiva. That's why when Bharadwaj asks Yagyavalak, who is Ram? Yagyavalak did not answer him who is Ram. He said, "Lord Shiva." He wanted to see if he was prepared for this transformation. सो शिव जी का भक्ति और भक्ति का मूल है देवता के प्रेम. And the root to devotion is to love the devatas. प्रेम का मूल है श्रवण. And bhakti, the listening, the love is the root is to listen. Shravan ka mool hai satsang. And the root to listening is satsang. और सत्संग का मूल है सतगुरु. And the root to satsang is the सतगुरु, the saint. और इस प्रकार से सतगुरु जी की कृपा से ज्ञान प्राप्त हो जाने से मुक्ति प्राप्त होती है. This is the power of satsang. My friends, I'm going to leave you with this bhajan. War in the mind. Life is like a war in the mind. You have good, you have evil in the mind. How can you get rid of? How can you win this war in the mind? We want to thank the Sankhya people, the Sankhya group that is here. God bless you all. And the sponsors, the press will reach the sponsors.
O manware मनवा जीवन है संग्राम. मनवारे मनवा जीवन है संग्राम.
Oh mind, life is a war. How you'll have success?
भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम. मनवारे मनवा जीवन है संग्राम. लोक यही पर लोक यही है, यही धरा और व्यू, यही धरा और व्यू. यही पुरातन नारायण है, यही सनातन, यही सनातन हो.
The oldest name, the name of Om, God.
इसी से बड़ा नहीं कोई नाम, इसी से बड़ा नहीं कोई नाम. भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम, भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम. मनवारे मनवा जीवन है.
Everybody must sing. When a mother, the baby is crying, and the mother will talk and say, hush, 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 hush. Then the baby started to sing.
मेरा दीपक जुग जुग जले, युग युग प्रकाशित रहे.
So if you want to melt the heart of the Lord, when you want to melt butter, you warm it. You got to put some warmth in, you sing in and sing for God. You must sing loud for God. Don't sing people name hard, sing God name loud.
इसके कर तब अजब अनोखी, गजब किसी इसके, गजब किसी इसके. सूर्य चंद्र दीप जलाता, बिन बाती बिन तेल, बिन बाती बिन.
The three miracles of God: the sun shines without a diya, the wick, and the ghee, and the moon.
सूर्य चंद्र दीप जलाता, बिन बाती बिन तेल, बिन बाती बिन तेल, यही सवारे सारे काम, यही सवारे सारे काम। भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम। मनवा रे मनवा, जीवन है संग्राम, भजले मनवा रे, भजले राम, भजले राम, भजले राम, भजले राम, भजले राम, भजले राम, भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम। मनवा रे मनवा, जीवन है।
Sandhya time, let's wave the light. Wave the light for Sandhya time. Everybody stand a little bit.
आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिया की। गावत ब्रह्मा देख मुनि नारद, वाल्मीकि विज्ञान विशारद। सुख सनकादि शेष अवशारद, वर्णि पवन सुत कीरतनी की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित गावत संतत शंभु भवानी, अर्घत संभव मुनि विज्ञान। व्यास आदि कवि पूर्व पठानी, काकभु सुंदर गरुड़ के। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिया की। गावत वेद पुराणी अष्टदश, छबहु शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस। मुनि जन धन संतन को सर्वस, सारे अंश सम्मत सबई की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिया की। कलिमल हरनि विषय रस पीकी, सुभग सिंगार मोक्ष युवती। हरनि रोग भव भूरि अमीकी, ताते माते सब विधि तुलसी की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित।
Now, today is Kumar's birthday. You all have mala for Kumar? Please, give mala. And you have to give your mother one too, she'll get jealous. Put them to sit down there. When you're doing somebody, puja, arti, and you make them sit comfortable. And then we will.
तुम्हें जन्म देने के बधाई हमारी, तुम्हें जन्म देने के बधाई हम। हजारों बरस की उम्र हो तुम्हारी, हजारों बरस की उम्र हो तुम्हारी। के बधाई हमारी, तुम्हें जन्म देने के बधाई हमारी.
Let's do closing prayer. We can't hold hands, right? Sanatana Dharma, our practice is word that we know how to quarantine for the 10 days when somebody died. No movement, no noise, no feeding, no eating, just stay quiet. Now we are forced to stay indoors 14 days, no meeting, nobody come in. That's how we must do. We are aware of that, you know. And this is how we used to greet people. Now I see the politicians doing this. We always, Pandit Baldev told you, Sitaram, Jai Sitaram. A long time people say it with so much sweetness, the Sitaram. That was Satsang, you're correct. Very correct. And so we're going to bring the family members in our mind and pray that our families stay united. If we do not unite ourselves as a people in this land, we'll be in trouble. We'll be taken advantage of. Anybody who is, those people who are disunited, enemies will penetrate you. We got to move away all these negativity, stand together, let our voices be heard. There are a lot of people who have funerals and you have hundreds of people and nobody says anything. But in Hindu Dharma, you have to have tent. Police come and run you from the cremation site. All happy about it? Yeah, because we're not doing anything about it. We're not standing together. And the people who have the power to look after that, you look at, they take out all the teeth. They're like bulldog without teeth. The Dharma, with other faith, they cannot do that. Why is we allow these people to do us that and not showing respect to us? We should not align ourselves with no political party. We have holy power in our own hands. They have to come to us. We shouldn't go to them. And that's a mistake we made. So my friends, I'm asking you that satsang, keep that sumati in your heart. It begins from within inside you and spread it out there. Let's do our family pray.
निरावलम्बस्य ममात्वलम्बं विपातिताशेष विपत्तिकदम्बं मदीयपापचलपातसंभं प्रवर्तितां वाचि सदैव बं बं.
Lord Shiva and his family, always pray to Lord Shiva and his family, so that our families be united just like Lord Shiva and his family. Remember, Lord Shiva has the bull. Mother Parvati rides on a lion and the food for the bull is a lion. You have a wife could eat up her husband, they have not done. Vice versa. The snake, the rat, the food for this peacock, Swami Kartiki rides, is the snake around his father neck, Lord Shiva. Here have a son could eat up a father. They live very balanced, so we pray to them.
तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से जप ले नमः शिवाय. तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से जप ले नमः शिवाय. Everybody. ओम नमः शिवाय. ओम नमः शिवाय. ओम नमः शिवाय. ओम नमः शिवाय. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव. त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव. ओम शांति शांति शांति. Just tell somebody Sitaram. Clasp your hands and tell them Sitaram 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 कहिए. जाहे विधि राखे राम ताहे विधि रहिए. सीताराम सीता बोलिए रामचंद्र भगवान की
Loud sing victory.
पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जगदम्बा दुर्गा माता की
Only 30% joy. Let them fellows up their tears.
सत्य सनातन धर्म की हर हर महादेव
God bless you. God bless you.
Sankhya Television is not only the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, but Sankhya TV also has the most coverage. You can find Sankhya TV on Facebook by searching for Sankhya Television. There you can view Sankhya TV Facebook Lives for all exclusive programming and all Sankhya TV playlists where you will find previously aired yagnas. By liking and following the Sankhya TV Facebook page, you will be notified every time Sankhya TV